Hi and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways. I've got Kevin Shea back in the hot seat. Jimbo Goodman's gone off to Australia. He's going to be at those Gold Coast sales. He's going for the yearling part, the weanling part. I'm going for the yearling part. So he's going to be there this week. Kev, your boys got beaten in the FA Cup finally.
Yeah, second in the league, second in the FA Cup. What can I say, Lef? We were hoping for them.
Yeah, they pressured hard in the second half. The other guys parked the bus.
Yeah, they got the Mourinho treatment because he used to do it with Chelsea. But good we had our chances, Lef.
Free header.
Free header. Oh. And great call from the linesman to give the offsides, and then they reviewed it, and it was, I mean, it's an inch or two, but. Yeah. Great call. That's what you want to see in these tight games like that. That could have gone against us. Yeah, definitely a penalty.
They had VAR. What, the hand hitting the hand of that one, the one that hit Young's hand.
And definitely a penalty left. They showed it over and over again.
The goal. Yeah, he should never have made that challenge. Had to let him shoot, and
he was on their outside, and De Gea was there. He should have given him a chance.
Giving him a chance because there's no chance.
He went for the ball, and the guy was just that half a yard quicker than him, and good night, nurse. But anyway, great. That's the way it is. We
you should get ready for next year.
We have to, Lef. We have to raise our game a bit. I think for the amount of money they've spent and the players we've got now.
Well, everything goes on to your main boys who have a full go at you. The Liverpool boys, they go to Kiev this week.
And I'm funking for them. Lef.
Me too. I'm hoping they go and win.
If they pull out two of the games I've watched him play, they can hold their own.
That's right. They're very good at attacking.
I'm funking. Michael Babood's going. Our good
Tubbs Riddell.
They're all going. So
let's hope they come back with a win.
With a trophy.
Be a great duel. That was our sporting weekend. Not that much. It's going to be quieter until the World Cup comes along. But again, the Sharks won, Kev, which is always good news.
Good news, Lef. Tough game.
Tough game.
They made it hard for themselves. There was actually some very good rugby on the whole day. The Western Province game against the Jaguars, was it? Jaguares. I mean, that was...
Yeah, drop goal at the death. Or
5 minutes after the 85 minutes they're playing these big boys.
26-23.
And great game. And then Stormers...
a bit of a kerfuffle in the studio with the presenters. I'd like to see what comes of that.
Yeah, let's see. I think it's a long-term thing. Just reading between the lines. I think it's
got to his wits' end.
It's come for a couple of years.
I was very impressed with the girl who was presenting. She took it all in her stride and said, "Carry on. We've got rugby to talk about." Well done to her.
It's a pity we stopped it right now because we were actually having a bit of fun.
Yeah, you got a bit of fun.
Ashwin.
Yeah. All right. Let's go and look at the 3 to follow. Right, and now 3 to follow this week. We've got, we're starting off with a barrier trial. We're trying to throw a barrier trial in every now and then, and we've gone with Legislate. The King is back, and Justin Snaith, with such a strong hand of horses this year, has brought the big boy back. His fertility was in question. I believe he had 25% of his horses in foal. And Kev, the people came in to watch this horse, and people want to see it. And for those who missed it, we thought we'd show them Legislate. And
you've got to show it. I mean, Justin's interview afterwards was perfect as well. Yeah. He let everybody know exactly where they stand with this horse, and he's preparing him. He'd love to run him in the Durban season.
He doesn't get him ready,
But then you saw how big he is, Lef.
He looked magnificent when he walks, Kev. He's a superb racehorse.
He's a special horse,
a special horse, and a Chevrolet stud bred this horse, the Champion. Let's go and have a look at the barrier trial with the Champion.
Lef, the interesting part about this is it's a 5 furlong.
Yes.
I mean...
Okay, these horses will all win. All these champions win these sprints.
Well, we remember Model Man winning...
he won the Merchants.
And he went on,
They tuck him in behind. That Philanthropist filly of Joe Borgs is leading in the middle, and the runner-up is the horse in the red next to it. But the reason we want to show you this race is just have a look at... I think it's Fanikirk who rides it.
Grant rode it. He just pulls it out there left now. But look at this action. You can just see. I know he's an older horse, but I mean he's doing one stride, and if you look on the horses on his left-hand side, they're doing 2. He just mows past him like this. I mean, you can just see a well-balanced. You can see he's a true champion. And, changes his legs there now.
He was on the big side.
You wonder what's going through his mind. Hey, I'm back. Welcome.
I'm back. What fun. Horses behind me.
As per usual.
Yeah, superb racehorse. The two of them chased hard to try and get near him, but he's been eased down, his ears are pricked, and the Champion's back. We thought you guys would like to have a look at this. and he ran it very well. He ran it in 59.49.
Yeah. So just what I was looking at now. That hard held. I mean,
yeah, lovely comeback, and he is pricked all the way. I watched him come back into the ring. Kev, I was very pleased with him.
Blowing left must have been a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, he's a champion. He comes. He probably did his blown when he pulled up. When he came back and he was
got those big lungs that just absorbs everything.
More gathered, and what a racehorse. Yeah. Then we went to the Vols, our next one, Kevin. There was an Australian horse that came out and found support, and just I think dumbness cost this horse. It's a horse called Sweet Red, and it runs in Lawrence Werner's colours for Johan Janssen van Vuren. And runs a very good race. We'll show you this race now. You'll spot it. It's around the turn. And
drawn 6, yeah.
Drawn 6. And not too bad. Goes to its left, takes horse 7 out of the race. But if you have a look, the pace is on. Abilene is very quick. Your eventual winner, Annika, is not too far off them. And Liquid Gold's showing speed. But Keegan DeMello is riding this, and he gives it every chance to win, Kev.
Yeah, Lef, you can see actually why the money was on. He's in the race, Lef. He looks like he's in a good position, and he's actually following the winner at the moment right now. He's got a perfect lead. The horse to beat's in front of you. Both beautiful actions you see when they draw away from the field now. Both great movers. And Lyle just seems to have the edge here. You see, it just skips away a little bit, and this horse...
Yeah. Watching it from here, I thought, well,
he moves up now.
Sweet
You think,
Red's
what?
going to win.
Yeah.
But as you say, Lyle is saved a little bit, and they strip away from Abilene and them.
Lyle gets away here, Left. This is a very important part. Gets away that length now, and this horse hits that flat spot.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do. It's a flat spot, that's right.
But he's got his ears pinned back, Left. You can see he wants to get up there and win. But look at these two horses' actions, Left. Look at this. Yeah. And third horse falls away with him. I think 2 very nice horses, and a great horse to follow for next time. Maybe a little bit further.
Sweet Red.
Sweet Red. Follow Sweet Red. The money was down first time. Sometimes you get punished first time. Next time you have to take shorter odds. Yeah. But they do win. They do win. He's correct. A top horse.
The next one we go to Cape Town. So we've been around the country this week with our 3 to follow, and we found a horse called Shamrock Wind. Shamrock Wind is from the powerful Brett Crawford stable. It's a Cloverflow bred horse, and it's by Captain L. It came and ran into a buzzsaw in Mixed Signals. Now, Mixed Signals is for Barry Irwin and the Sings, and this horse, we had called him as a horse to follow when he ran behind his stable. We ran behind her stablemate. So let's have a look at this race. Shamrock Wind will pick it out for you. There it is there, Kev.
He's drawn 10 left, and the horse they have to beat is drawn 12 of Joey Ramsden's, and it's 5 to 10 shots. So Joey's is a really...
Whose horse is Joey's?
I mean Candice Bass, sorry, not Joey's, Candice Bass.
That's 2 off the left. There's your winner in Barry Irwin's colours. Moving to the outside of the inside group, if that makes sense. Have a look at number 12, is the Captain Hull. This filly's called Shamrock Wind. Francois Herald rides it from. I didn't think he was down in Cape Town, Kev.
Yeah, he went down. The short, I think, corner offer was up here, so they went down there. But
River Roan's leading them along.
River Roan, just in the picture,
Polly's Destiny.
Yeah. Just in the picture. Travelling well, sitting behind them, moves up them to virtually win its race. But you're chasing a 5 to 10 shot left. They must have run second or third.
It ran second in his debut behind a stablemate. So again, it's a very strong hand for Candice Bass down in Cape Town. Here comes the winner in the red cap, and the penny drops because Shamrock Wind has to go at River Roan to grab second, but the winner's coming home well.
Winner, yeah, absolutely. Here comes the winner running through them now. Now the second and third are fighting now too. Also both good movers left, but the winner's home and dry, but running on all the way left.
Lovely debut.
That's what you want to see them do. Not a hard ride, gave it a couple of smacks, but you got to try and teach them what to do. But
very good debut.
The Brett always leaves a little bit in the tank.
Yeah.
And find the right distance next time. It was a little bit of money for it.
Where was Get Off of My Horse? Why wasn't he down there?
Get Off of My Horse. I don't know why he wasn't down there.
Because I'm
open to correction. Left was this weekend.
This week.
This week.
Yeah, this race meeting was Saturday the 19th, yeah.
So it was this weekend?
Yes.
Okay, so...
You back up to speed?
Yeah, well, he was racing here. Pierre Corner was here.
Should I do it in English?
Yeah, well, Pierre was here for the big day.
There we go. Well, you sorted that for us. So Get Offer was up here.
But I know he also had a suspension to serve as well. I thought if he had gone back
What's he done wrong now?
No, when he took out all the fillies here in the fillies race.
Okay, well, there's our 3 to follow, and it's from around the country, 3 decent horses to follow. As I say, the plans with the big horse will would come along soon. We'll know more about it from Justin. But let's move on to This Shouldn't Happen. There we go. You can see the full version by going on to YouTube and watching it. Or we'll go on to Gold Circle's site. You can look under Winning Ways. It's always amusing. Jimbo, who's in Australia, compiles it. We have a good laugh. Right, Kev, let's move on to Plum of the Week. The Plum of the Week is another one. Let's have a look at this thing first.
About 5 or 6 lengths to make up. Gaga still leads it. Royal Utopia. Then Being Fabulous on the outside. Onesie, Leaves of Grass in trouble. And Gaga's not for the catching. 100 meters to go and Gaga's going to win it. Second placing will get close. Second place, Royal Utopia, Being Fabulous and Parabola.
Well, this is a very good horse, this Gaga. I think, if I'm stand to be corrected, James Bester might have bought this for them up at the national sales or something. Beg your pardon? Half sister to Ngugu. There we go. Thank you, Kevin.
But sorry to
last time it ran, it was the only time it's been unplaced. It was 3 wide the whole way. Everything went wrong. It looked a hard horse to oppose.
And got cleaned up left by the same by Pierre Corner offer. Got cleaned up. You saw in the race, they actually had to stop riding it to 200 meters to go, and then in 200 meters not going to find it. But drawn 2, and the big talk was Leaves of Grass drawn 10. Was a debate about.
This looked the plum, Kev. Andre Nell's horse, Richard Free, very good ride. 4-1 available. At the death, there were 7-2 available. This was. On Interbet, you could have got a decent bet on this horse you fancied. And we thought he was she was Plum of the Week.
Great ride from Richard. Stuck it in the box seat left, top of the straight, pulled it out, and there was race over the top of the straight. I thought it was a great ride from Richard, but Plum of the Week, absolute great call.
Yeah, so there were. You could have got good odds. Great price. That's exactly it. And okay, we'll be back after the short break.
Best race time odds, transparency of betting markets, friendly and super efficient staff, the ability to negotiate odds, a full service tote with no limits, which is very important for exotic players, loyalty program, speedy withdrawal of funds, full odds multiple betting, and excellent in-play markets. These are just some of the many reasons that come to mind as to why I believe, as a serious punter, there is no online operator in South Africa that can realistically come close to matching what Interbet has to offer. Put simply, there's no other site like it, and the ability to negotiate odds adds to my fun and enjoyment. Interbet, where the professionals bet.
Right, welcome to Current Affairs, and there we can see the sale that's going to start this week. Jimbo Goodman's there. I'll be over next week.
That's what is that, weanlings for the little ones?
He's going for the little ones, the weanlings.
With their mothers, or they just come and
No, they're weaned.
Oh, they're weanlings.
They've been weaned from their mothers.
Okay. Interesting.
Very interesting. You're learning as you go along.
Yeah, no.
Then the mares in between, mares, you know, for night.
The mother comes afterwards.
Yeah, the mother afterwards. That's good. In some cases it's true. And then the elder ones, the yearlings. The yearls, that's what I go to, the yearling sales. So, Magic Millions there. But let's get straight into the action. Kev, I just want to ask you a few things, but something, because you've been a rider. James McDonald, top rider in Australia, he returns after 18 months. Now, he was nailed for gambling.
Yeah, Laffy done his
So excuse me interrupting you. Some countries you can't gamble, some countries you can.
I think the rule in South Africa is you're allowed to, as a jockey, you're allowed to gamble on your own horse.
Okay.
So I can't be riding and backing yours
in
the race. James McDonald was stable jockey to Godolphin.
Yes.
He done that job. That must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah.
In Australia are very, very strict with the gambling. Ooh. Zero tolerance.
Yeah, every week we seem to be talking about something that's happened with the staffs in Australia.
Not knocking Australians, but a guy just been caught in Hong Kong as well.
What, for gambling?
For gambling.
So it's not allowed, eh?
It's not allowed, not in Hong Kong especially. Chris Muntz got 2 years in jail for gambling in Hong Kong.
That's right. Now, he's training in Australia now.
He's training now, yeah. He's sat for 2 years in jail. But this other guy that's just been caught now, I can't remember his name offhand. He went to the midnight flight to get out. The cops were waiting for him at the airport. They pulled him back in. I'm not sure he hasn't got, he's going to sit for a while as well.
Gee, that's terrible.
But the jockey club in Hong Kong washed their hands.
Yeah.
They gave him 18 months.
Zero tolerance?
Zero tolerance. And they pre-warn you when you go there, if they catch you, even telling somebody.
Well, what is the story? You rode in Hong Kong, didn't you?
Yeah.
You get presents?
You used to get presents freely available. Now, if you do
You have to disclose them?
you have to disclose.
So you go to the staff and say, I got 10 grand given to me by Mr. So-and-so?
If the owner gives you 10 grand in Hong Kong, you don't take it.
Why is that? Not enough.
They give you hundreds of thousands left.
Do they?
Oh, they give that because the stakes are so big. Yeah.
But
a good example.
When you left to come back, were you wheeling a wheelbarrow?
No, I wasn't wheeling a wheelbarrow, but I went back to wheel a wheelbarrow with Mark de Kock. But a lot of guys are just maybe, I don't know, the Hong Kong, but they'll give you a present on the quiet, and it's your decision. If you want to declare
disclose it or what?
You declare it. If you don't, and then you must live with the consequences. But
so
zero tolerance for punting.
So he's back, and he's learned. The top jockey did his job, as you said.
Great rider, left.
Great rider, no doubt.
And he lost. You see, Glenn Schofield's picked up a lot of these Godolphin rides, and he's missed out on some very good horses. But
Sean Cormack's riding in Australia. He fell off. He's injured. He was taken to hospital. Sean Cormack. And his agent told him that he'd be fine, maybe a week or two he's out. He fell off at a horse at Ipswich racetrack.
Okay.
One more thing I want to speak to you about the jockey side of it is Zach Purton rode 4 to close the gap from Marrero to 4. That looks like a great championship.
Yeah, I followed the Hong Kong racing. I watched it yesterday as much as possible as I could. And you must go onto the Hong Kong jockey website, and let's just have a look at under the jockeys. Look at those two, how far clear they are of the rest of the field, and have a look at their stake earnings.
Where were Chad's ridden winners there? Carice Teaton from just our perspective. Dougie.
I think Carice is at third. Fourth, I think. Who was fourth? There was a guy, but left they like 100 winners behind, or 90 winners behind.
Wow.
Yeah, they're in another. And Dougie's. I think Dougie, when I lost, he rode a great winner yesterday. Dougie came up the inside. I think Dougie's on maybe 20 winners. These oaks are on 100.
I know Chad was on 34.
34. Yeah. I think Teaton's on 39. These guys are 130 odd. And the stake money of 150 million Hong Kong dollars, times that by 1.5. And it's, no, it's serious. But these two guys are dominating.
So you'll be following that championship,
right to the death. It's Zach Purton actually joined the Hong Kong Jockey Club when I did, the same year I went. And he was a bit of a mischievous, good rider. Aussie. He was causing a bit of drama there, and they gave him a chance because of the Australian guys that were virtually running Hong Kong there. All the guys said, bring him here,
But good rider, Kev.
Great rider. Top way. Both of them.
Okay, we had one stakes race in the country, and that was coming up now. We're going to show you that from about the 600-700 meters or so, and that was the 1900. And another big win for Justin Snaith. Then afterwards, we will show you the second leg of the Triple Crown. The Preakness was run over 1900 meters. And again, we've now got a horse going for the third going for the Triple Crown. Right, Kev. Well, let's first go over. Raven's going to put on now the 1900 for us.
Move around them now, and Strathdown has raced up into that third place. Four Timbers at the rail. Then comes the Slade, Ollivander. The white cap of Captain Splendid, then Elusive Silver. Dark Moon Rising's about 8 lengths off the leader, then Matador Man. It's My Turn as one of the trailers racing about 14 lengths off the leader at this stage, and then Platinum Prince. World Sports Betting 1900 about to enter the straight, and the leader by 2 lengths, Kampala Campari. In second is Crowd Pleaser, Strathdown, Fort Ember. Then comes the Slade. Ollivander's on the inside. Towards the outside of that one, Platinum Prince is trying to put in a claim down the inside. Captain Splendid the outside. Matador Man needs some running room. Dark Moon Rising's on the outside. Coming to the last 200 now. Crowd Pleaser. And here's Elusive Silver with a big run. Elusive Silver hits the front over the last 100 meters. Dark Moon Rising's a runner on the outside. Elusive Silver's clinging on. And Elusive Silver has won it. Second, Dark Moon Rising. It's close for third. A Platinum Prince is involved in that photo for third. We'll go back for that. But Elusive Silver came well. The Silvana.
Well, there we go, Elusive Silver. Now, this is a beautiful horse. He's a Silvano. He runs in the colours of the chairman, Ken Truter. And I remember every year he comes out, Kev, have a look at this horse, and I think, wow, this is a beautiful horse. He really is a special-looking horse, and he's shown he's got the ability again.
Lefty, he was fancy to win the July last year.
That's right.
He got injured. I think he done a tendon or
yes,
something,
like
suspensory leg or something. And Justin was devastated. He won a very good race today. I've got to give full credit to him. The second horse, Dark Moon Rising, your horse, I don't have to say too much about that. Excellent run. Yeah. Not suited to the pace. Yeah, ended up falling away. He had to go a little bit
came
wide.
With the Cape Crawl and killed us.
They went slow like that, which killed me. I think if there was a pace, I think your horse would have won. The third horse, Matador Man, I spoke to the owners afterwards as well. You watch him, they said to him, whatever you do, give us a clear run. He ended up getting stuck between yours. He got ping-pong between the two of them, lost his position, came around. It
was a very good run by Matador.
Very good run. I didn't think he really stayed that well. And the fourth horse, Platinum Prince left, comes from last.
Yeah,
everybody forgets about that horse. Yeah. He ran a great race, came up the inside. How he got to run up the inside, because unfortunately we're not going to show the other race.
So some horses have blotted their copybooks for the big one, and some have enhanced their chances.
Well, as we know, Lef, Wednesday the new draw comes out for the July.
The new log.
I mean the new log, not the draw, sorry. The new log. I can't wait to see it, because it hasn't finished shuffling yet, but it is going to shuffle.
Kevin, you said Justin Snaith has urged a bit of caution. He hasn't made his mind up whether Susanna's going to run.
He hasn't made his mind up. They've been very, very open about the whole thing. Justin and his brother Jonathan as well. He said, listen, guys, cautious.
Yeah.
But a 3-year-old filly cannot get more than 56 kilos.
Okay,
and I think if she came in with 56 kilos in this kind of July field, which I think is not the best July field we've seen for a long time.
Sure.
It is still a lot of weight for a 3-year-old, but Mark de Kock pulled out the horse Chestnut with 56 kilos as a 3-year-old colt.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot stronger in those days as well.
Yeah.
So something to...
well, I think the Will Abington might tell us more.
The Will Abington's going to come in. We've got the Daily News 2000.
For the boys, yeah.
The boys, and we've got that other 1800. It's
it's called the Championship or something.
Champion, the one that...
the Rising Sun?
The Rising Sun.
Rising Sun,
so
yes, sorry.
There's still
there's there is a pointer in Joburg too. They have the Jubilee over 1700.
The Jubilee as well. That gives them
every
a
now
chance
and then it throws up a decent horse.
For the guys that don't come down.
So there's still a lot to play for, but some have cemented their chances and some have got more to do.
Some of them have to maybe think about rerunning again and going. Yeah. But, it's going to be very interesting. It's Graham, as Graham Hawkins says, Wednesday the new log comes out. Come on, guys, because the betting left.
Yeah, everything hinges on the betting. I know our horse went from 125 to 28.
Yeah, you'd like a little bit of the 125.
Yeah, a few of the boys 28. Have got it. Yeah.
And I see that. No, there was there was a scratching of Glenn Cotton's horse. I saw that race. There was a big adjustment in the betting.
Yeah, correct. So, right, let's go and have a look at our other feature. And the one we're going to show you is from America. It's the second leg of the Triple Crown where Justify, who wins this race, bear in mind he won the Epsom Derby, and he is by Scat Daddy. Scat Daddy's now had 99 stakes winners, but Kev, the conditions were not pristine.
10 out of 10 to the commentator, Lef. I missed 3/4 of the race.
Yeah, I see the pace was on. They made it interesting, but it was fog. It was sloppy track. A couple of our boys would have wanted to get off, call it off for another day.
Get off.
A couple of your cousins, Kev.
They wouldn't have got out the cars. but Lef, I was interested to see they sent a horse to chase this horse.
Yes.
And they were going big fast splits.
Yeah, they were going very quick.
And he shook him off, and even one from behind. The third horse actually comes from behind because they did go very fast.
Yeah, he's 4-10 favourite. Now, what's interesting, Bob Baffitt's a trainer. Every year he comes out with a big one.
A legend.
And he has won 4 times now. He's won the first 2 legs, the Triple Crown. And 4 times he's gone to win the last leg, and only American Pharaoh has done it.
Yeah.
It's so tough.
Yeah,
it's the only one who's done
it's
it.
the toughest race in the world, as you know.
Yeah, so, you know, Bob's won it in 1987, and what did he win it? 87, 98, 2002, 2015. He had the first 2 home and the first 2 legs, the Triple Crown.
Is that where he gets the grey hair from, do you think?
No, he had it when he was 14.
Yeah,
Yeah, he decided to go into racing. Yeah. Well, there we go. Well done to commentator, or the track announcer, as they call them in the States. And the Kev, the conditions were not too good, eh?
Well, the first leg wasn't any better either.
Yeah, but this time they brought the fog in to make it harder for the boy upstairs.
Yeah,
I didn't know where they were when they turned for home.
He got a good memory because he knew what was happening.
He called them memory.
He called them by memory.
The second, third horses came home hard, Kev.
They had to left. They were going. The splits. I'm actually going to go back home now and have a look at the splits. Those were some serious splits in the dirt. Yeah. And the slop, you must know, even going in further.
Yeah, no, funny enough, Kev, it compacts in the slop.
Oh, does it?
It's much quicker. If you get a sloppy track against a normal track, the sloppy track's quicker.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
It becomes, they roll it. It's hard.
It's like the old Val track used to when it rained.
I never rode there, Kev.
I didn't.
No,
you should have tried it. It was like going to the beach without the sea.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there we go, the Festival of Speed, the speed racing, the need for speed, whatever you want to call it, 4 Group 1 races over 1,200 metres from the 2-year-olds all the way up to see who's the quickest horse over 6 furlong the land. I've got Warren Lenfurnace coming. Warren, thanks so much for coming in. Big day on the day. The final fields aren't out yet. They've been done today, but there's a lot on.
There's a lot on, Paul. Thanks very much. Wonderful to be in the studio as always, and it's going to be a great day. The entertainment, we're going to go through what's happening out at Scottsville on Saturday, and yeah, just as you said, need for speed. It's going to be wonderful horses in action.
What have you got on?
Paul, just to start off, we must make mention that the entry to the race course is free. Entry to the race course on the free is day. Gates are opening at 10. Fashion show, there's a massive fashion show. The theme this year for the fashion...
Are you modelling?
Oh, well, of course, absolutely.
But
you and I are doing a...
Yeah, the hat one. The one
yes,
with the
correct.
Hats,
yeah. And Kevin Shea's going for the
Sing.
The Sing, yeah, absolutely. The theme for the competition this year is Saddled with Silk. So that should be quite interesting. And the competition carries a total prize money of 30,000 Rand, Paul.
That's very good.
I'm just reading the notes because I don't want to get the monies wrong. 30,000 Rand in prize money. There's many on-course competitions as well. Beverly Hills Hotel, 2-night stay for the Beverly Hills Hotel or the Monte Casino.
Fantastic.
So there's, you've got to get your entries into the boxes on course picnic sites.
What do they do, like a losing ticket thing, or
Paul, it'll be various, various tickets, ways of entering, I should say. Picnic sites, there's a lovely venue there. Picnic sites, you can go with the family, under your umbrella and gazebo. Of course, the Rockefeller's restaurant will be in full go. The kiddie centre, where you and I used to go when we were laties, when we used to go to the race course. Fun Corral Kiddies Play Centre is
so
open.
People can bring their kids down there and go off and have fun.
And there's going to be trained, trained child miners and what do you call them?
Staff.
Staff, that's the right word. Best turned out horse for the grooms. There's going to grooms, we don't forget
every
the
race.
Grooms. No, this is just for the Sogo Sun Sprint and the Sogo Sun Gold Medallion. And this year, the Sogo Sun team are going to be giving the grooms beautiful watches, Paul.
Fantastic.
So that's very, very nice. And of course, charity, we can't forget charity. Charity is a big thing with for Sogo Sun and for Gold Circle. And 16 charities will be married to the 16 horses in the main race. with the winner receiving 30,000 rands.
Fantastic.
The winning charity will get 30 grand, and the other 15 charities will be each receive 15 sponsored by Gold Circle. So, I mean, really,
that's good money.
That is good money, you know. And there's a lot of these
good
charities,
cause.
good cause. A lot of these charities out there, Paul, that do work behind the scenes, and it's wonderful that Silver Sun and Gold Circle have put their weight behind this. So yeah, it's KZN Blind and Deaf Society, the Peter Maritzburg Association for the Aged, the Community Chest. So there's a lot of people that will benefit from this race day.
That's wonderful, and as I say, gates open early. Should be a great day's racing.
Paul, you know, as the Gold Circle social media team have been trying to, you know, a lot of people we bump into don't know that the entrance fee is free for most days. Obviously, for
all the social media work you do, where is it? It's on a site.
It's on the Gold Circle Facebook page, which is the Gold Circle Racing page. It's as easy if you just search that. Instagram, the official Gold Circle Racing Instagram page, and it's up there on the websites. It's everywhere, and that'll keep you up to date with all the charities, all the feature races, and what's going on. But it's nice that the entry is free, you know. So gates are open at 10. Get to your picnic sites early. Get to your restaurants. It's going to be. I'm expecting a humdinger of a day.
Excellent, Warren. Thanks very much for updating the public out there. That is this Saturday, the 26th, the big speed day, and we thank Warren and his Gold Circle team for making sure you know what's going on. In your call, we will be speaking to CEO of Gold Circle, Michelle Narak, just to have a look at the state of play. We'll be back with your call. Hi, and welcome to your call. As I said earlier, that we're having the CEO of Gold Circle, Michelle Narak, come through and just tell us the state of play. Michelle, thanks very much for coming through. And it's the right time of the year. We're building up for our season, champion season. How's it looking?
Paul, everything's looking good at the moment. You know, the preparations are going well. July day, obviously, the bookings are going extremely well. The horses are here. The track is responding to all the treatments we've given them over the years. I was very, very pleased with the state of Greyville on Saturday. And congratulations to the track managers for having fixed the problem that we encountered 10 days ago. So everything very happy. Obviously, there's only one area of the business that concerns us, is the totes. They're still dropping quite considerably. I mean, last year we had a 9% decline. This year we're looking at an 8% decline on that reduced base. So that is very concerning. We need to address those issues and find other ways to supplement the revenues that are missing through that channel so that we can ensure the survival of this beautiful game of ours. Yeah,
well, one of your needs for diversification seems to be barrier trials. Now, barrier trials are rolling, and you get a few detractors, but all in all, we're getting to see the good horses. And Michelle, I think it all comes back to one thing. You're talking about the tote being down. The tote is our customers, and we're giving our customers something. Any business, you haven't got customers, your business is gone, and barrier trials are certainly giving our customers something.
Yeah, I think we must be more general than just to say barrier trials. Sure. is the way and end all of everything. But the reality is that this game had 100% of the market pre-1996. The totes now constitute less than 1% of the national totes on horse racing constitute less than 1% of the gaming market. So we've got a shrinking market, and we've got to give as much as possible back to keep our share from declining. You know, and barrier trials is one of those areas. You know, we're trying to bring transparency. We're trying to bring added information. We try, and this has been the focus of our commercial initiative. So, yes, barrier trials is one of those mediums. Obviously, you know,
your social media?
The social media uses it. A lot of people look at it, but there's other things, other initiatives that we've started as well. We started with the first-timer comments in the race card. I know they happened a long time before the race. Then the introduction of barrier trials. Then over and above that, the comments from a selected group of experts that give their comments on the barrier trials. Then over and above that, we now have this interactive site, which we're launching this week, which we trialed over the weekend. It's an initiative from one trainer who doesn't want the publicity, where the trainer will give his 48-hour information about all his chances, like you do.
And you're going to put them all on the side, like I do with my videos.
Like you do with your videos to your clients. So this will be posted. We've trialed it on Friday. We're launching this week. Then it'll be the introduction of what I call Gravel TV, that you guys call Gold Circle TV. I haven't lost that battle yet. Where we can bring in additional information like horse weights, like everything that we can do to help.
Help who?
Help our industry keep its market share in the gaming sector, which funds mostly our operations, you know, that pays for stakes. But more importantly, Paul, is that when we saw that inevitable decline in the totes years ago and we started a diversification program, the first item on the agenda was launched by Pomela is the sale of our pictures overseas. Now, this is now paying for our stakes pot in KZN. It's as simple as that. You know, we're getting 80 million rand from it this year, and you know, that goes straight into the stakes pot. Now, the international customers want more information.
Absolutely.
Everybody they want more information. They don't have access to. So my appeal to the industry is that let's stop trying to quash every initiative that there is to keep our market share, because if we do that, we end up you know, falling quicker, and then suddenly the game becomes more difficult, and our role is to sustain the industry. So my appeal is, let's all keep together. Let's try and try the initiatives, give them a good try. If they are, after a while, they've seen to be bad initiatives, it's not an issue.
Yes, yes.
But as long as they're good initiatives. Let's take the case of barrier trials. I understand the inconvenience, because it brings cost to the trainers to transport their grooms to the races. It brings cost to the NHA to bring their... it brings cost to the transport industry that have supported us. And it brings cost to Gold Circle. But, you know, we need to give it a try. If it works, and we're happy with the process, then we can look for sponsors to sponsor it. We can redistribute those funds. So there's all these initiatives add up to something. And I think probably not one of them will make the difference that we're all seeking it would, but an accumulation of them, 10 different initiatives that work the way will help this industry survive this beautiful game of ours, which is now facing an uncertain future with the decline in the tote turnovers.
Yeah, Michelle, I agree. To me, it all gets back to the customer. We've got to keep the customer, and I agree with you. But let's not forget to address the jockeys' reluctance. Now, the jockeys have stated that they are reluctant to ride in barrier trials unless they are remunerated of 700 Rand a ride. Now, can you appeal to them? Or how does it look from that side?
I got a letter from the chairman of the Coastal Jockeys Association requesting that when we review barrier trials, which the racing committee did a couple of weeks ago, that they would like to be paid. Unfortunately, we're not in a position to do that at the moment, because if we were, it would cost about $500,000 Rand a year, which would have to come out of the stakes pot. And at the moment, our focus is return on stakes. You know, having said this, you know, we can always look at improving things in the future. So my intention is to try and meet with some senior jockeys during the course of this week to try and tell them, and I did in my reply to the chairman of the association say, I'm sorry, we can't accept to pay riding fees, but if there's anything I can do to help your members support this initiative, which is only good for the good of the game,
absolutely.
You know, please let me know. So I hope to be able to meet with them during the course of the week and hopefully convince them to see it through until, you know, August, where by then I can go out physically and try and look for a sponsor, and I mean physically myself, go and look for a sponsor, look for some forms of revenues which can be redistributed to all those that are being inconvenienced by the barrier trials. But The analysis of barrier trials, the analysis of all those initiatives that we've done, the positives far outweigh the negatives. And that's what the racing committee focuses on, you know, and that's why, barring the IOA, who's made it very clear they're not in favor of barrier trials.
But hang on, they sat on the racing committee, I sit on it. They sat and they agreed unanimously, or we're going to forget about that?
Yeah, no, everybody's entitled to change their opinion, Paul. But it's a couple of times now where we received correspondence by the IOA saying that they don't support barrier trials. Hopefully I will meet with them in the foreseeable future to understand the negativity, because from an owner's perspective, talking myself as a small owner, the advantages for me have been fantastic. I don't have the time to go to Summerveld and watch my horses work, but I enjoy seeing them working in a barrier trial. It gives me a very good idea. Not the result of the barrier trial, but at least seeing the baby that I've bought a few months ago, how he's matured into an adult, how good he's grown, what the prospects are, and how he strides down to the start. And you know, these are the kind of things which gives me an opportunity. So from
and if I just can add to that, if you can't get to your horse barrier trialing, you can get to a computer.
Absolutely, and that's been fantastic. The number of hits that we've had on the website to watch the barrier trials and watch the comments that we've put afterwards about the barrier trials have been very numerous. And it's very encouraging that one initiative can bring that amount of interest. Now, what is very interesting as well is the international component, the number of hits we get from international.
They want information.
They want information. Now, when you look at this from a pure perspective, I mean, Pumela International told us that they sold 3 races to Hong Kong at the last the big meeting that they've had a couple of weeks ago. They only sold 3 races. So Hong Kong commingled on 3 races, and they generated 95 million rand of turnover. Now, take this at 3%, you know, and you can see how important it is. This for Gold Circle that gets a quarter of this. You know, it's
massive.
It's massive. It's one race day of stakes paid for through one initiative.
Yeah.
Kudos to Pumela. They've started it and they're running it brilliantly.
They're doing a great job there. And they've kept racing alive in this country.
And now they've scheduled to take on some races on July Day, you know, and they're also going to take the Daily News and the Woolivington. It'll be very interesting to see what kind of turnover they do on Gold Circle Racing. But I'd imagine it'll be as good as it was on Johannesburg.
Are they getting our barrier trials?
They're getting our barrier trials. Some of them are actually visiting the website, Paul. So it's very interesting. Some of them are asking for more information. As you know, the Far East it's information. They look at all the stats, all the gallops, everything. So those initiatives are the ones that are keeping us alive. So we need to be proactive. We need to create more. As I say, we will make mistakes and have bad ones along the way. But as long as we keep trying, you know, we will survive.
As Gloria Gaynor once said, or was it, I will survive. But Michelle, it's other things.
Wrong singer.
Gloria Gaynor, I will survive.
I will survive. Are you sure about that?
Listen, you Mauritians never got the music.
No, please, not.
I want to just keep you up to speed. I know you can sing and I can't, but I've got the right lyrics. Let's talk about the Vodacom Durban July. Now that's the flagship. It's the race that affects your finances throughout the year. It's the plum on the tree. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, what the July represents basically is 1 year's profit.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's as simple as that. We redistribute everything we make during the course of the year to the stakeholders through all the initiatives, whether it's jockeys, trainers, breeders, owners, whatever we have to do. And then the July represents the profit that we make for the year. So if we post a small profit for the year, which we keep for the future of the company, then you can say that this is generated by the July. So it's massive for us. It's massive on 2 aspects. Obviously the financial aspect, which is very important, but also where it is essential to the survival of the industry is that it brings the attention of a lot of people on horse racing. The comparisons are quite extraordinary when you have a good Friday night where we've got a good crowd and we have 2,500 people on course, or 4,000 on a very good Friday.
Yes, good Friday.
The July brings 55,000 people.
That's perspective.
When you look at the turnovers that we do, the turnovers on the do, when we do a very good Sunday, we've done 3 million rand turnover on our local race meeting. On July Day, we do 60 million. So this is the enormity of it, and this is the flagship that actually keeps the game, everybody aware of the existence of the horse racing industry. And through that, the enormous potential, or not potential, the enormous number of employment that we create, and the contribution we do to the local economies. I mean, the July in itself, to the province, to the city, and to the country, the economic impact is enormous. It's actually quite big.
No, so everything looks good. Are we going to have the house full signs going up again? It seems to be every year. Everyone wants to get here.
Yeah, tragically, we are limited by disaster management. Although we operate from a race course inside of which is a golf course, we are limited to numbers. So there have been years where we have to pull up the house full sign. The disaster management is very strict, and nowadays, as you know, this is more and more regulated. So we've got to be very careful. Last year we stopped selling tickets at about 3:40, 3:45. Main race was at 4:20. Hopefully it'll
because there was no more space.
We couldn't sell anymore.
Your quota.
Yeah, we had reached our quota. Because that number of 55 includes the people that work on the day. So you're talking about all the staff that support everybody, whether it's somebody in his private box with a food trader that brings in food for him. That ticket's got to be issued as well. So we've got possibly about 5,000 staff working on the day.
As much as that, eh?
Yeah.
That's like a big day on Friday.
I mean, just on security, we've got 510 members of security walking around because it's a vast...
The local police, do they come to the party?
Local police help us on the outside, they actually, and they are part of every single security meeting that we have. Our safety manager is Stuart Weston, runs those security meetings, ensures that everybody is participating and everybody is doing what they have to do in terms of regulations and laws.
Good, and good to see there's international people coming in. It's fantastic. A lot of international people coming, whether it's in boxes, whether it's at tables, whether it's anywhere, up with you guys and the stewards or whatever.
Yeah, it's the support has been phenomenal. You know, we've got obviously international press coming as well, international television, CNN reports on it. Yeah. So the event is big. It's our big meeting, but it is essential that we keep this because that's the exposure of the industry to remind the industry every year. Those 4 big events that happen during the course of the year, the Met in Cape Town, obviously the Summer Cup in Johannesburg and the July. But keep the attention to an industry that is a great employer in people. Directly and indirectly, is 100,000 people in this country.
Good for tourism.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the province,
Good for the province, yeah.
One last question before we go away. You said earlier it's now down to 1% on our totes that's racing. Is that accurate? Can I repeat that?
Yeah, I mean the total turnover of racing as a percentage of the gaming industry, including the bookmakers' turnover on racing, was 1.6%. Now, if we extrapolate this to just the totes on horse racing, because remember the Pumela does quite a big chunk of business on soccer betting. The
Do we?
Our share is very small, Paul.
Is it growing?
No, it's actually stagnated. Sadly, clearly our customers are more focused on horses here in KZN, and we haven't got this opportunity that they have in Johannesburg and in the Mpumalanga areas.
Sports betting is massive.
It's massive in the country. It's now overtaken horse racing. And obviously numbers betting, which is another product which the fixed odds operators launched a few years ago, has also become very big. The customers seem to like it a lot. You know, so in the 7 shops that we have at Track and Ball, we can see the trend moving away from horse racing more into the other products. But in KZN, we're still lagging behind a bit.
Okay, well, let's hope we catch up. And Michelle, it looks like we're looking at a very good season.
I think so. I think the racing that we've had so far has been great. The horses on show have been very good, and we're very happy with the comments that we have from the visiting trainers. I mean, about our facilities. We're trying to do the best we can for the racing industry to have a great season for everybody. So the signs are good, and let's hope we continue in the right direction.
Michelle, thanks very much for your time.
Pleasure.
There we go, the CEO of Gold Circle, and we really are looking forward to a wonderful season. We had Warren earlier talking about the need for speed. 26th, we've got 4 Group 1 races up at Pietermaritzburg, but whatever you can do, try and get yourself a ticket for the Vodacom Durban July. Until next time.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.